All right, in this video, we're going to go over the reports section of TowBook. This is going to be a long one, so grab a cup of coffee or something. A couple things out of the way. If you click on the link below in the comment section, I get a free month of TowBook, and you get to use some of the best towing software that I found out there. So after that's all out of the way, let's get started. If you'll go over here and you'll click onto reports, you're going to find 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different options here. The customer survey thing, we went over that before. I don't have that level of TowBook personally, but if you do, you'll be able to find your customer survey reports there. You're going to see your dispatching reports here. And there's a lot of them. So call analysis reports we'll look at. And that's going to give you an analysis of calls that you've had over whatever date range it is that you want to select. So let's say July 1st to today. And that'll show you total calls, average calls a day, average invoice amount per call, total invoices, total payments, outstanding amounts. And then it'll give you a breakdown of all the calls that happened during that time as well. And you can kind of see what they were and where they came from. You can also go by reasons and break those down. You can go by accounts and break it down. Account types, you can break it down by drivers, trucks, dispatchers, payment statuses, service items, whatever it is. Let's say how many lockout services did we have that during this month? We did 33 lockouts to date. And then that's also for a total of 3,000. So our average lockout right now is $93. Let's look at tire services. Our average tire services are a little bit higher. We can look at jump starts. See how we're doing there. Jump starts are lower. Makes sense. We can go through here and say field delivery services. Those are a little lower too. So you can kind of get an idea, oh, this is what looks like the most profitable for me. If you want to use that information, maybe to do marketing or whatever it is, you can kind of push those things because you know they make you more money. You can also break it down by call volume. You can kind of see throughout the hour, the day, throughout the week, the month, which I'm going to give you a month because we're just looking at a month, but you can kind of look at by the day. You can also use this for planning purposes, like for scheduling when you want to have drivers on duty, if you need more guys during certain times of the week, like it looks like for here, let's say we're looking at a week. No, that's a weekly report, sorry. So here we look at 7-2, 3, 4, so like on 7-3 and 7-4, we had a little bit of volume. Let's get out of, let's go to all so we can kind of get a real picture here. On 7-2, which was, what day of the month? That was a Saturday. So we're starting on Sunday here. We know on Sunday, we're a little slow. Friday, we were a little slow. Saturday, a little higher. Sunday, a little higher. Monday, a little higher. Tuesday, we drop off. Wednesday, it picks up. Thursday, it can be slower. And you can kind of get an idea. And then, how do I need to plan and schedule my drivers? What days of the week am I making the most money? What days of the week can I maybe take off a day and not really affect my business? So you can use it in that manner. To do that, you can always export everything to Excel. And again, you get a full breakdown of all the calls there. So having said that one, we can look at the dispatching analysis. And some of these I'm going to go kind of fast through because I don't want this to be a super long video. But by the time we get through a few of them, you'll get the idea. So dispatching analysis will all the same breakdowns that you have on the others. You can group it by reason, which you can group it by account, It's not really giving us nothing, so let's just go by none. Your reports here, you're going to see when you received it, when you dispatched, arrived, towing, completed. You can use this to also know whether or not your process is being followed, because drivers should be, your dispatcher should be receiving and dispatching calls. Your drivers should be going on scene, which isn't showing here, or en route. They should show arriving and then towing or completed. You can see the driver, vehicle. So we know that this one here was Justin, and he went on a call for Miss on Sandra Drive, Kia. Received revenue, kind of give you an idea of where you're at overall, gives you that same overlook as far as the dollars go. You can break down reports by motor clubs, reports by service or motor clubs. We'll look at one of those. And this gives you an idea of what's going on a club level, if I'm understanding this correctly. So it gives you average en route time to complete calls, time to arrive, average ETAs, average time to dispatch, average calls completed per day. And you have all the filtering that you can do up here as well. And then utilization reports by truck, driver, dispatcher. So you look at those and you can say, okay, so here, because we have one dispatcher, it's not really going to give you too much, but you can say, okay, let's look at drivers. So utilization by drivers, Justin's bringing in higher invoices than Darren, but we've got Darren commissioned over here, and we've got average calls he does a day, total balance, total invoice, total commissioned, net invoiced, and gives you a breakdown of what you're looking like. You can break that down by calls, or you can look at it by, total amount invoiced here, where Justin's done so much more, but Darren just started, he's new. We're working up with him up in the Knoxville area. You can break it down by reasons, which could be helpful, because you can kind of get another different view, if you will, of what it looks like for field deliveries, GOAs, jump starts, and it's just showing you again what's making you the most money. It's tire services, service calls. For us, that's like parts deliveries from the motor clubs and lockouts. And then we have a tow in here that we did. Well, kind of, we did. But we'll leave that alone right now. If you're towing, you'll see towing. You'll see all your other reasons for calls that you do. We can go account performance over here. And if you should be starting to get the idea by now, but you've got a lot of different ways to look at your different accounts and see how they're performing with all the same type of filtering and stuff like that up there. You've got performance reports. We're just going to kind of go through these a little quickly. Now we should be getting the idea. It gives you a similar type of report. Driver activity reports. So you can kind of see here, if you look, load up. There we go. So you can see what Justin's doing. You can see what Darren's doing, how many calls they've done this month, what they've invoiced, their average, their total en route time that they've actually been driving, 14 hours. Total on scene time, 5 hours. Towing, total time, average time, unloaded miles, loaded, total miles, average miles. So if you want to give like a report like this to your driver to say, hey, this is kind of what you've done, they could look at this and they go, okay, I know I've gone 927.6 miles. Those are obviously going to be one-way miles. So they can look at that and kind of double it and know what they've done. Also, their total en route times, their total on scene times, they can double this total en route and add their total on scene and know how many hours they've worked. if you want to help them break it down like that, so they can kind of get an overview of what they're doing and how they're performing, and then they can kind of try to figure out what areas they may be doing not as good in, or maybe some areas that they're doing really good in that they need to keep up and try to tighten it up and make more money for themselves. You can look at reports for canceled calls. And we'll just do the month here. Volume, you can look at revenue. So we've lost $1,750 in canceled calls this month. You can do daily activity. Maybe internet thing on my end. Deleted calls. You can look at your call workflow. We're just going to open these up now daily, and then we'll let them go. So reports on deleted calls. We have deleted calls here showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all calls that I created and then deleted for instructional purposes. Reports your call workflows. Go in there and you can kind of see that how many calls, average calls, all this stuff can be exported to Excel, or export a daily summary or a sales snapshot. If you want your dispatcher office manager to send you a daily summary of calls, you can do that by day. You can go to here, dispatching reports, so you can kind of see from a bird's eye view, if you will, what went on during the day in complete detail, all exported to CSV Excels or printing reports. Break it down by drivers and say, what's Darren done? This is Darren's calls. This is what he's done, when he got there, when he finished it. And you can kind of go over that if you want to use that as a training tool for your drivers to try to help them tighten up their times. You can go to reports by motor clubs. Look at those. You can break it down for drivers. You can see, let's see what Darren's done. This is Darren, all him right here. We can also go to dispatching unpaid calls. These are all things that you're going to like. You're not going to use all these reports, but you will use some of them, and just to know which ones they are. You have to go through there and you have to kind of figure it out. We're just trying to, let you know that these things exist, where to find them, and a kind of a brief idea of what they do, so that you can use what you need and not what you don't. So we're just going to go from today, daily activity. This is what we did today. Not a whole lot. Total of $302. What day is it? It's Wednesday. It's what, if you remember that one report I pulled earlier, Wednesdays are usually slower, so it's not a big surprise. Then we'll get into the fun part here. Well, maybe it's fun. Then you have your financial reports. Told you this is going to be a long one. Your income summary, payment verification, accounts and receivables aging, revenue and income analysis, income by employee, payments received from accounts, and sales tax if you use it. These all are going to work the same as the others. You pull your date range and you can see what's going on here. You can see your MasterCards, your EFT payments. You can break it all down and filter it just like before, all exportable. Reports from payment verification, so you can total payments, total unverified. This can kind of tell you, hey, you got payments that need to be done and processed, which I do a whole bunch of them, running behind on that. You can go with end dates for accounts receivable, say end dates today. It's going to give you accounts receivable, total receivables. That's probably not a really accurate number. I've received a fair amount of that money already. Normally with my accounts, the urgently is the only one that ever pays past, 3 days at the most. They're 21 days behind. So when you get started with them, it takes you a while to start getting paid. But then when you do start getting paid, they pay daily, Monday through Friday. So this is revenue and income. So you can kind of see your total invoicing for the period, the balances due, received, calls that fell outside that period where they came from, EFTs, MasterCard, income, whatever the case might have been. Date ranges, filters, just like everything else. You can go income by employee, where you can kind of see who's making you money, who's not, who needed help do a little better, who might need some more training. We're going to go by all users here. That should report, and it's not working that well. Okay, so let's go by Darren. For whatever reason, this isn't working right now, but date entered recorded. So anyways, you get the idea on this one right here. I'll have to figure out why that's not working correctly. I don't want to waste a bunch of time. Then you can go to account payments and see reports on that, what you've received that month, how you received it, all those individual payments that you did record. You can go by income, by account. Then you can also go into sales tax reports. I don't do sales tax, but if you did, total payments in the date range. I went a little bit far there. There we go. So total payments in that date range. And then you can see if you enter sales tax, which we'll get to when we get into the settings and stuff, you'll be able to see that as well. So we're going to get out of this section and we're going to go to payroll and commission reports. That's a good one. Short. I like that. You can look at your payroll and commissions for the month, drivers, all. You can see what Darren's earned this month. You can see his commission for this month. He's made $609. And then you go back to your reports here and you can go for truck reports, truck expense report, equipment inspection reports. So you can go truck expenses and click your date range and see what your expenses were for that time. This calculates gross profit based off of the amount of money that you earned during that time and what your expenses were. That's not up to date either. Do not follow my example. You can go out here, check out equipment pre-trip inspections. This is not part of my TowBook plan, but basically it's a pre-inspection that you would have your driver do before they left the shop or wherever it is that they keep their service vehicle, to help keep up with maintenance for your company. You know, if they do a pre-trip every day, then they're not going to have as many unforeseen maintenance issues. Here you can see a GPS status report. Listing, this only lists your drivers. I'm a driver, but I'm also the owner, so I'm not showing in here. But you can tell where they're at 1:58 p.m. was the last time that it reported him. Right, because that's when he got back to his spot from his last call. And then you can also see a user check-in report here. And that'll kind of tell you who's been active in your system. You can see Darren checked in on the 18th at 3:48. He checked in on the 13th. I checked in here the 16th. It just kind of lets you know when people log in and log out. They check in, then if they never check out. So this may be Darren checking in on his phone and him checking in on a web browser, and same thing here. Checked in on web browser, never checked out, and it can tell you how long they were there and all that. So as far as your reports go, besides your customer survey report, which is a added feature that I don't pay for at this time, those are the reports it's up to you how you run your business, how you do your thing, to determine which of those reports make sense for you, which ones you need in order to look at your data and say, this is what I need to work on. This is where I'm doing good. Let's keep doing that, or let's make some changes here, or these people need to pay, or know who's a good fast pay and who's lagging behind on you if you have any issues with that. And you'll also, I believe, probably somewhere in here, if you're doing, um, or actually, I think probably in the impounds is where you pull an impound report right here, remember? So yeah, as far as reports go, they're all in here except for that impound report, which you generate over in the impounds tab. I think that's it for now. If you liked the video and you thought it was good, just like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's cool too. I get it. And if you click the link below and sign up for TowBook using my little link, then I get a free month of TowBook, and you get to use the best software out there for roadside and towing. Thanks for watching.